Welcome back to Binary Options Authorities, How to Make Money with Binary Options, Part 2, Risk to Reward, Repeatable Probability Math. So we're going through these introductory videos to get a perspective on what it's going to take to make money in binary options, like for real. Why are we talking about this topic? Well, a lot of people have a lot of ideas about making money in binary options, and a lot of people really don't think that much of it or haven't thought much of what it takes to actually make money in binary options. So we better start talking about this topic. Now, different people get involved with the markets for different reasons. Some people get involved with the markets, you could argue, not even for the sake of making money, but it's just a cool thing to do, or it sounds exciting and they want that excitement. All right. So, okay, then confusion sets in when usually that approach starts losing. So then people start to think, well, wait a minute, what do I need to actually do to make money and keep making money? I don't want to be a one-time wonder. I don't want to be one of those trading book stories that made money one time and then, that's it. How do you consistently make money? Well, like I've been already mentioning, it's going to take a few boring things to get going as a habit in order to settle into actually making money. And once you get past what you may think is boring at first, then it could not be so boring, okay? But if we are chasing emotional enticement, then we're basically chasing a sugar high, or some could even say a drug high, or maybe an alcohol. I don't know if you get high in alcohol. I don't know if you call that a high. Okay, so let's just talk about sugar highs. Okay, that's pretty common. So maybe you're just chasing a sugar high, right? And so you're chasing this shiny, sparkly, emotional thing. And then, if that's the case, then that's going to be easily manipulated by the marketplace to guide you into all the timing it takes to get on the wrong side of the trade most of the time. So you lose your money and give all your money to the marketplace. When you are in the markets, you could argue that you're essentially in war of a certain type. Okay, or you can look at it like a strategic game, or you can look at it like a sport. Your opponent wants to beat you. Okay? Your opponent wants to take your money in this case. Hey, you want to take money from the marketplace, so that's what's going on. And there is and has always been an inner game aspect to money making or trying to make money on a consistent basis. You have the outer game battle where you have to see the price and react to it. And then you have the inner game battle where you have all these thoughts going around. You have all these emotions and these emotional thoughts and these things that keep popping in your head, particularly when you're day trading, right? But ultimately, once we work out a method, get good at it, and I would say become at peace with it, I think that emotion of peace and the mindset setting of peace in trading is probably one of the best ones, because your instinct seems to know how to trade, okay? Your gut instinct, and it can tell you that maybe this position isn't so good, or it can give you some uneasy feelings about the particular position you're about to enter in. You don't have a good feeling about it, or maybe your feeling about your money management position size or your position size is a little bit off. I mean, it could be super small and cause you a sensation of, okay, this is nice, but we need to get a little bigger position going on here if we want to start, progressing and profiting, because also if you trade too small for too long, then you may just kind of lose interest and say, hey, this is not getting it done for me. But if you're trading too big, which is usually what most people do, then you're not going to feel easy about your position. So you're going to have this sensation of, oh yeah, this is a little bit, it's a little bit big. I don't know, and you're not going to be at peace. So the emotion of peace is a good one to look out for or to target in helping guide you to more accuracy in your position sizes and the actual trades you're trading. Now, that's kind of difficult. Okay, now we're talking about, like, I don't know if you call that ninja level self-mastery. We're getting into intuitive types of concepts. And I would like for you to be more, or at least consider to be more logic-based, more price action-based, more see on chart and then do and react based, particularly in real time. Now with binary options, ultimately what do we need to do? Well, we need to, as mentioned, net out a profit. And we'll have to talk more about that. Okay, you have to net out a profit. What does that mean? That means you have to actually make money. You have to have your costs be less than your revenues. Okay, trading very much needs to be like a business. And I bet you read in some trading book before that you should trade as a business. But I mean, people say that all the time, but what does that mean? I mean, have these people even owned a business? Okay, what type of business? An internet business? Okay, I would say when you say trade as a business, that you would treat it like you would in a bricks and mortar business, which is usually many times more serious. Okay, many times more serious compared to an online business. I think with these online businesses, it's easy to get spoiled and to say, oh, you only need to do this and that, and you'll make good sales, and you don't have nearly as many things and numbers you need to crunch as you do with a bricks and mortar business, particularly if you have employees. Okay, if you have a lease in a commercial property, that's one thing. Are you franchising? You have those fees. You have a constant electricity bill. You need supplies to sell. You need these variable costs, and you have, like I mentioned, employees and insurance. You have all these costs that are just there, and they're kind of heavy, and they're just coming at you. And then you can't always perfectly tell how much you need in these variable costs with your goods that you need to buy and your employees and your marketing and so on. Very complicated. It'll drive you into looking for other solutions like trading for a living. Okay, and trading for a living can be, it can be far easier. It can be, all right? And far easier doesn't mean no effort. It doesn't mean that you just buy something and it automatically makes you money. Now, that can be the case in some of these automated scenarios and automated newsletters and things like that. The possibility is there, all right? But at the end of the day, with all these automated ideas, one has to learn how to trade. One has to at least learn money management, math. One needs to learn how to trade. I would not depend on technology to provide you a living, especially in binary options and all that. Remember all those binary options, robots? Yeah. Okay. So let's get to the actual point of this video, which is that we need a risk to reward ratio that's repeatable. Okay. risk to reward ratio, repeatable probability math is the title of this video. So that means that we need profit margins. Okay. A business can succeed much more easily if they have profit margins. Okay. If that business has a product that costs very little and sells at multiple times higher, then they have a lot of flexibility. Granted, their sell frequency rate is pretty good. Now, our sell frequency rate here in trading would be what? Our winning percent, our average personal winning percent. And what would be our risk to reward ratio profit margin? Well, that would be our actual cost per trade or risk per trade versus what we take in when we win. And the repeatable probability would mean what? It would mean the winning percentage. Okay, and when you see a winning percentage of a system or a strategy even, let's say you see someone's winning percent of that strategy, that doesn't mean it's your personal winning percent. Now, you could even have a higher winning percent, strategically speaking or system speaking. Maybe you perform the system better. Maybe you come up with an idea that improves a system or the strategic approach to trading a strategy better. That makes your personal winning percentage higher. Maybe you can focus and get into the groove better when you're trading versus someone else who gets distracted every few seconds because their social media went off or their cell phone buzzed. So you may have a higher winning percentage. Okay, so a winning percentage needs to be settled into, and then in day trading, you'll have different price behaviors between the days, but these price behaviors will go in cycles. They will return. Okay, let's say you're in a slow period of time, let's say 1 or 2 days of winning percentage that's lower. Well, what's likely to happen the following days? Well, what's likely to happen the following days in a good, stable approach is that your winning percentage will likely go up. Okay, so that's why it's important for you to study historically a strategy or a system. And also, when we put out systems results, it's good to look between the days and see how these price, or I should say, see how the performance does in cycles. So usually you'll see, like I mentioned, a couple days in a row where it slows down. Then you have some days following there where the profitability increases. And then it just kind of goes in that cycle. Well, I mean, right off the bat, if you think about it, those types of cycles will usually coordinate with the swing. On the day bars, you get into a pullback where price slows down, or maybe you're at the peak of a swing and the momentum slows, and the intraday price action likely gets a little stodgy. But then you start into the new swing, and then price action intraday starts to flow, and then winning percentage goes up. So we have to take these things into account. All right, I'm going to try to keep this under 15 minutes here. So these are introductory topics. You want to get all this math together. Ideally, it's best to have these great risk to reward ratios. So if we can find a system that has a smaller risk to larger reward and a decent winning percentage, even 50% winning, that's not decent winning percentage, but even if you have a greater reward to smaller risk, you can still make money with a mediocre winning percentage. And at the end of the day, all that counts is consistent money making that you can compound over time. So if you can make money consistently, then you're set, because then you just compound it over time. All right, that's it with this module.